Imagine that you just bought a new pair of racing shoes for a big upcoming race. And then you're out doing a little jog in those shoes to get them ready for race day, make sure they fit your feet and all that sort of stuff. And then you see a child drowning in a shallow pond. And the only way to save the child is to walk into that water and drag the child out. And would you do that? Would you sacrifice your shoes? You can't get another pair to save the child's life. And yes, of course, we would. And most of us would say that's a very small sacrifice. Those running shoes, they are not worth as much as the life of a child. But the reality in the world is that quite often we come up with excuses to make that moral sacrifice. Perhaps there are many other people around that pond and we see, well, that guy, he's wearing some old running shoes. He could go in there. And well, this guy is actually a little bit in front of me. I'm standing further behind. Why can't someone else save that drowning child? And the reality in the world today is that there are many drowning children in shallow ponds. What I mean by that is that there are many very small sacrifices that we can make in order to save people's lives, but for some reason we don't. Maybe because we think someone else could or should do it, we may perceive others to be in a better position than us, or we simply just think that, well, what can I do? I'm just one person. My contribution won't really make a difference anyway. And that is why this year I am running the New York Marathon for the N Fund. So this is a high impact charity that actually works. So this is an organization that works with the poorest of the poor in the world to help them from dying from diseases that are completely treatable, preventable, but unfortunately often forgotten. And this is why I want to help raise funds and awareness for the N Fund so that we can stop people from dying from neglected tropical diseases. So the money we raise through running the New York City Marathon all goes to the Democratic Republic of Congo to help people get treatment for trachoma and intestinal worms. And these are diseases that people shouldn't be dying from. They are completely treatable and the solution are there. We just need to get it out to the people that needs that treatment. And as little as 50 cents is enough to provide one person with all the treatment they need for an entire year. So this is a charity that really works, and any contribution, no matter how small, actually has a direct impact. It prevents people from dying or otherwise life-crippling conditions. Let me bring this back to marathon running. So the guy on the slide here is Stelios Kyriakides, and he is often recognized as the world's first charity runner. And back in 1938, he ran the Boston Marathon for the first time. And during that race, he made the rookie mistake of wearing new shoes. And at some stage during this race, his feet started to hurt so much from the new shoes that he actually couldn't finish. So he had to take a taxi to the finish. And after the race was over, he boldly made the statement that someday I'll be back and I will win this race. But obviously, this being 1938, which was just at the brink of the Second World War, he didn't get an opportunity to race anytime soon. So he returned to Greece and was pretty much stuck there during the years of the Second World War. But he never forgot about his goal of returning to the Boston Marathon. And in 1946, he pretty much sold everything he had to buy a one-way ticket to America to race again in the Boston Marathon. Things didn't go too well for him at the start. He was lagging a bit behind and it didn't look like he was set to win the race. But then an old man in the crowd shouted at him, "For Greece, for your children." And that apparently gave him the inspiration to increase his pace. And so he did. He picked up the pace, he came back, and he actually did win the 1946 Boston Marathon. And this was such an heroic story that he was even invited to the White House and met with the president. And after that, he went on a charity tour through America, and he returned to Greece triumphant with 25,000 tons of supplies of American aid and about $250,000 in cash. Not for himself, but to help rebuild a really war-torn Greece that had suffered tremendously from the Greek Civil War and also the Second World War. I'm not sure if I will be equally successful, but Stelios is definitely an inspiration and a role model, both as a runner and as a fundraiser. And here's another one of my role models, both as a runner and a fundraiser. Otto Watne from Arendal in Norway. He ran his very first New York Marathon at the age of 80 in 2001, and he won his age group. He did so with an artificial hip. He was also an active fundraiser for the Democratic Republic of the Congo, and his son was also stationed there as a doctor on several occasions. Now, Otto was my grandfather, and that jumper that he's wearing in these pictures was a present for me when I was young and went to uni and worked in a sports retail store. And my motivation now is to follow in his footsteps by running the New York Marathon and supporting people from the Democratic Republic of the Congo. I would like to send my heartfelt thanks to everyone that has supported me so far. In particular, everyone in my family and also all of my colleagues at RMIT University in Melbourne, Australia, that made these fantastic cupcakes. Now, the cupcakes are all gone, but the QR code on the slide here still works. So if you want to be part of this campaign and help me raise funds and awareness to end neglected tropical diseases by running the New York Marathon for the N Fund, then please scan the QR code or click on the link below and make a donation. And as I said, there is no such thing as a too small donation. Any contribution counts and any contribution helps. So even just a couple of dollars would be fantastic. And please share this video with anyone else that you think are able and willing to help us. And as I said initially, we shouldn't be afraid of just a minor discomfort for us, like getting our shoes a bit muddy. Even a small contribution here would be a great help to once and for all end these neglected tropical diseases. Thank you.